Hey guys, how's it going? Sai here, back in another BG on the RET Pally within Twin Peaks. Decided to do something a little bit different here and do a voiceover recording just to discuss the ins and outs of our rotation, quote unquote, there. It's more of a priority system than rotation. Just to discuss being able to optimize a RET Pally's damage. Also, some tips in helping BGs, just some basic 101 stuff. So anyway, first thing that you need to learn as a rep pally is how to manage your holy power. If you're just building up to 3 holy power and then spending immediately and then bending up to 3 and spending, you're not optimizing your damage. What you're looking to do is build up your 5 holy power using your generators, which would be Blade Justice, Crusader Strike, or Zeal, whatever you have, Divine Hammer as well. I specifically run Zeal and Blade of Justice unless in 2v2 arenas. Then I still take Blade of Justice, but I also take Crusader Strike instead of Zeal. That way I'm not accidentally, since I do run with the roguing blinds and stuns a lot, that way I'm not accidentally knocking them out of that CC by just having my Zeal cleave to them. And I don't want Divine Hammer for the exact same reason. Though against like multiple warriors, if we're going against 2 warriors, it might be optimal for me to use it. But I still gotta mess around with it. Still a little new to the arena scene this season and trying to learn the ins and outs of RET again. It's been a while. But anyway, so you can, those are your generators, and you're looking to put them into spenders like Templar's Verdict, Justicar's Vengeance, and Divine Storm. And now a lot of people, they'll just want to build up their holy power and then hit wings and just throw it out there, use whatever spender they or generator they can to give themselves more holy power, and then just throw more spenders out. Now, here's where the priority system has. By taking Blade of Justice like I do, you can get resets on Blade of Justice, and every time you cast a spender, Blade of Justice deals 32% increased damage if you have the full points within your artifact weapon, that is. So I've had it hit, on average 6, 7, 800k. It hits almost as hard as a spender. So you're looking to weave in your spenders into Blade of Justice, and if it happens to proc again, get another spender off into Blade of Justice, so you're dealing just that much more damage every time you're going into a rotation. Now, since the buff came out, our Templar's Verdict now deals full damage. It's no longer nerfed by 30% within PvP situations. So Templar's Verdict jumps far ahead over Justicar's Vengeance damage. So on your Divine Purpose procs, we used to spend it on Justicar's Vengeance because there was really no downside. It only did slightly less damage, but it healed you for 100% of the damage. And it still counted as spending 5 holy power, so it reduced your hammer of justice that much more. So when a target's stunned, it's still a great thing because you're still getting 25% bonus damage to it. But for every other situation, just spending on Justicar's Vengeance unless you absolutely need to heal up. You're going down, you need to sustain, because those Justicar's Vengeance hit that much harder now. It's great. I've had, 1.5, 1.6 million crits with it, with wings up. Of course, I think I had a 1.8 something million with wings and the rage buff. But yeah, so weaving in your skills, not just spending all your points and then using whatever willy-nilly, casting Blade of Justice multiple times because it deals more damage and generates 2 at a time, because then you're missing out on a bunch of damage, and you could be 5 holy power spent are capped, and you're just throwing Blade of Justice out by accident. I also like to use Blade of Justice because I do take the slow effect on it, so having that extra range slow is just great in my opinion, because RET Pally has a big mobility problem, so we need to take everything we can to be able to keep up with targets such as mages, hunters, elemental shamans, druids. I don't think we can ever keep up with a druid, but it's in there still. So being able to optimally deal your damage out and manage your holy power is a big deal. One set of combos, like example, is I'll sit there, I'll wait for 5 holy power, And this is what I do without any divine purpose procs. Divine purpose procs are just the icing on the cake. It's bonus damage is amazing when you get them, and you feel like a god just swinging with Justicar's Vengeance or Templar's Verdict over and over and over again. I've hit people for 1 million crits, 3 and 4 times in a row, and just burst them down. But so optimally, what I like looking for is I'll go 5 Holy Power, and I'll do a Justicar's Vengeance into Blade of Justice for that bonus damage. That'll give you 4 Holy Power again, into another Templar's Verdict, which drops you down to 1. Now what you can do is you can cast Zeal twice, or if you got a Blade of Justice proc, use your Blade of Justice because it will still do that bonus damage because you just did that spender. Or optimally, what I do is if I'm since I am a Blood Elf, my racial gives me a Holy Power and it's not on the global cooldown. So we were back down to that 1 Holy Power like I was discussing. I'll cast Zeal, and immediately after casting Zeal, especially against a caster like a mage or someone that I'm trying to burst down and they're coming out my stun, I'll cast my racial, which will silence them, give me a Holy Power off of the global cooldown, so that my very next move can be a Templar's Verdict. Now all of this is under the effect of Judgment, so you're trying to get optimally as much damage as possible. Judgment increasing the damage to your spenders. Now you should be now at 0 Holy Power, but wait, you have Wake of Ash. You can pop Wake of Ash to give you 5 more to go into another Templar's Verdict, hit with Zeal or Blade of Justice into another Templar's Verdict, and by now your rotation's starting to slow down. If you have no Holy Power when you go into a fight and you hit wings and you're looking to start bursting immediately, you can throw your Wake of Ash out in the beginning, so you won't have that 5 points at the end, but you got it faster at the beginning and you don't have to build up. I just enjoy building up. It gives that big burst of damage, and Wake of Ash, I like using it near the middle to end to really push for that kill. Since I do like killing healers, I go hunt them down. That's also why I take Blade of Justice and such, because Blade of Justice gives you that extra oomph because it can reset to take down a healer. Don't be afraid to use your Hammer of Justice, rather for its stun effect to keep someone still, but more against casters as a silence. Because if they're sitting there casting and you got nothing else and you have your stun, wait for that bar to get close to full as possible. People like tricking you by start casting and then canceling it out, and you can waste like your rebuke in silencing them. Also, the more time that they're casting and then you silence them, that's less time that they're able to do techniques against you. So waiting for that bar to get up there, using it as a silence as well as a stun just to cancel out an attack is a great little strategy. Now, I know I discussed Templar's Verdict and Justicar's Vengeance, which comes first and which to use when, but we do have another one, that is Divine Storm. Divine Storm should be used on 2 targets or more if you're sure that you can hit both the targets. It deals a lot of damage, and it puts pressure, even if you're not hitting the healer, it puts more pressure on the healer. Because say if you're in a group and you guys are doing a lot of AoE damage, then you're putting pressure on those healers to heal. You might force them to proc a cooldown, and you are just causing chaos as much as possible. So that's just a rundown of how I go ahead and I do my burst, my rotation, what I'm looking for, and I hope that helps you guys out. Now for BGs, just simple basic common knowledge, I guess. People ignore it a lot, and that's like map awareness, not fighting in roads or in the middle, say like Warsong Gulch, just duking it out in the middle. There's a time and place for fighting in the middle, and that's when flag carries happen to be within the center. If you guys want to see an example of my burst, here it is. It just completely tear this paladin down like he was nothing. 800k, 500k, just high amounts of burst, just boom. But yeah, anyway, just map awareness, not trying to pad your numbers for damage or kills. I'm sure everyone will agree they have more fun winning the BG than being the top. I mean, there's nothing more fun than winning it and being the top of the charts. But most of the time, you don't see people doing both and not following the objective in some way. I've seen a lot of people who top the charts who yell at their team saying you suck, you guys need to learn how to play, and that person spent the whole time nowhere near the objective, not helping carries or whatever the objective might be. They just spent the time wherever the most fighting was going on, just running around getting kills. So actually playing objective, map awareness are two very key things. Another one, killing healers. Not a lot of people know, but when you open up the window, you can actually, your PvP window, when you're in a BG, you can actually skim over each class on the Alliance or the Horde side, the opposing faction, and get a general idea of what you're up against, what kind of rogues there are, what kind of healers, and that can completely change up your system. If there's a lot of people that hold a lot of CC, for a RET pally, we might want to either run with the flag carry or try to CC as much as possible to keep those people away from the flag carry. Because we can give them Blessing of Freedom if they're carrying a flag. Can't really give them Blessing of Protection because they'll drop the flag. It won't let us do it. But like Blessing of Freedom and Lay on Hands to get them back up to full health. But yeah, just getting a general idea of what you need to do at the beginning can help you just right off the bat improve your chances. Don't be afraid to throw your plan out the window. There are general plans within BGs, like for example, Eye of the Storm. You have 4 towers and a flag in the middle that you're grabbing and running. The general plan usually is 2 towers, grab flag, try to maintain middle. Now there's people who love to run 3 towers or try to 4-cap the towers and push them back and just completely dominate. It does not work as often as you think. And if people are sitting there saying, I always win my BGs like this, either they are winning 1 out of every 100 games they play, or they're lying through their teeth. I'm sorry, you need to have certain team comps to do certain things. And for capping, you need enough healers, enough tanky characters, and CC all within the same group to be able to utilize a small group going against larger forces. Because remember, you're spread out across 4. You're trying to keep your towers safe and take over their towers, because all it takes is 1 stealth or 1 person just real fast to get by you to your tower, if it's left defenseless, to take it back. So you're spread out, you're trying to take on larger forces. Unless your team comp is set up that way, it's not going to work out too well. And 9 times out of 10, people who want to do 4 towers, and the majority of people want to do it, and I have to go along with it, have to be a team player, have to go into it, it doesn't ever go well. And I'm not saying it doesn't work. It has worked in the past, but team composition is something to look into. And if your team composition doesn't go for a plan, be ready to throw that plan out the window and adjust on the fly. Don't ram your head into that brick wall over and over and over, blaming everyone else for the failure. Change the plan. Adapt to the situation. Kill healers. I can't utilize that enough. Kill healers. If you realize that your target's not going down, assume there's a healer. Just instantly start looking around. Nuke a healer. If you kill the healer, the rest will go with it. I promise. But yeah, that's just the general idea. Us RET pallies, we're great at burst when we have our wings. We got good sustain damage. We're great support characters because we can help with protections and stuff and blessings. Anyway, guys, that was the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it helps you guys with your damage and your BGs a little more. Anyway, I enjoyed making it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.